I'll try that again, but this time I'll take myself off mute. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the 49er Faithful UK. As you can see, this is another podcast. We are live streaming on YouTube today. It's draft day, and we've all been waiting for this day since we traded up to number 3. So on the show tonight, it'll come as no surprise. We have Naji Kara.
Hello everyone.
We have Paul Hope.
Good evening. All right, everyone.
And we have Gareth Ellis.
Oh yeah, hello, evening.
So the purpose of tonight's show is we're going to go through and we're going to do a mock draft. We tried to do this last year, but we had some audio issues with echo, as we did last night in our test. But we believe we sorted it out late last night. I could see what the problem was. So hopefully you won't hear anybody echo tonight. So what we're going to do...
Let us know in the comment if it does, and then we can try and fix it before. Right?
So let us know in the YouTube comments in the chat window in there, because I'm monitoring that on my laptop right next to us. So I'd be able to see whether or not there's any issues. Whereas if you do it on Facebook or on our Twitter account, I'm not actually checking those. Or I'm saying I'm not checking them. I've actually got my iPad up here, keeping an eye on Twitter to find out what's happening, because all sorts are starting to kick off, especially around the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. So that's an interesting one. Both myself and Gareth were discussing that before we came on air. And I'm of the opinion that if it was to happen, I'd be unhappy if we just give them the third pick and we got Aaron Rodgers. Because it's not effectively just the third pick. It's our next 3 first round picks. So what I'd want is Aaron Rodgers plus their first round this year and potentially their first round in 2023. If they want to ship him.
Oh, that's a lot. He's an MVP.
It is, but he's 37 years old.
Yeah, he is. It's true. But he's the league MVP.
A hefty contract and unhappy.
True. But he's the league MVP, so that carries
he is. Yeah, you're right. But so does the number 3 pick, especially with this draft class.
True. Very true.
It could happen. It's potential.
I don't put any stock in that thing. I think it's one of those where we have professional in the front office and they just picked up the phone and said, hey, yeah, no, okay, cool, bye. And that's it. That's all they say, because you have to try and ask. It's the same as we did with Tom Brady last year.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to pick up the phone and say, let's see what ifs, right? Okay, can we do this? Nah, maybe not. It doesn't mean you're going to do it. At least you know the price. So
exactly. You know the price and you know whether or not it's going to be worthwhile.
Exactly.
So, what
I just want to say to everyone, if you hear me wincing pain and stuff, I've pulled my shoulder and my neck this morning. Not sure when. So I might as well go for a walk every now and then because sitting down is not easy. But yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm on painkillers as well, Naji.
Oh yeah, no, I've got some of those too. Cheers, everyone.
Yeah,
Happy draft mess.
So what we'll do, because we don't want this to be a long drawn out mock draft, we'll refrain from trades, unlike we did last night, and basically took everybody's trades off them and had about 20 picks in the draft. So we'll refrain from that. We'll use the 9 picks we have. We'll stick to NFL timing. So hopefully I've got a ticking clock that'll be on the bottom of the page and it'll tick down. So first round, we have 10 minutes to choose. Second round, you've got 7 minutes. Third to 6th round, we're going to have 5 minutes. And then in the 7th round, we'll have 4 minutes. And I'll just leave it at the normal medium speed on PFF to go through the different picks in between hours. And we can chat while that's happening. Obviously, it's a little bit condensed to the actual draft. And we pretty much know who we're going to go for. I say that. Again, both myself and Gareth had this conversation before we came on air. And Gareth was the opinion that we won't need 10 minutes. We won't even need 10 seconds for the number 3 pick. And I said, well, hang on here. We might need to talk about this.
Yeah, we do.
So we'll give it a go. So with that said, let's pop over to the Safari page where I've got the PFF up there. So as you can see, we've got it all configured already. We've used these configurations a few times. It seems to be a fairly balanced configuration. Sometimes you'll see a curveball coming in. So we're starting to get some comments there. Mark Mavis
Oh,
says
good question.
that's the best type of painkillers.
Yeah, got a good
Would the
question.
Jets take Rodgers?
Good question. Maybe
Y- You think?
they definitely got the draft capital to do it.
So
Um,
that's a good question, Alec.
Mm.
You're right. They do have the draft capital, but surely because it's a new head coach, new OC, they want to start the franchise their way. They want their own guy, not necessarily. Obviously, Rodgers would be their own guy, but only for a short space of time.
yeah,
And they're in a position where they can potentially pick up a guy that's going to be around for the next 15, 20 years,
yeah.
depending on how they
I,
look after themselves.
and they have so many needs as well. They don't just need a QB because they had a QB and they got rid of it, right? So they,
Rodgers wants to win something, and he's not winning anything at the
Yeah.
Jets. Win
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Agree with that
That's a very
completely.
good point. I don't think it'll happen, but you never know, depending what they offer, right?
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, picks do talk. I mean, if they offered the number two, to me, if I was Green Bay and the quarterback wanted away, or he was going to refuse to play or even retire, yeah, take the second pick in the draft, because you know you're going to get a decent quarterback there.
Yeah, there's something we don't know is what's his face they drafted last year. We don't know if he's impressed or if he's been put in a bin or oh, what's his name? Who did the draft last year?
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, thank
Jordan
you.
Love.
He
He
wasn't
might have
back.
wowed them, at practice and all that, or he might have just not even. Probably he might be an afterthought at this point. So who's to know, right?
Exactly. I wouldn't expect Jordan Love to start this year or next year. And to be honest, I mean, the way Rodgers played last year, Jordan Love was probably 2-3 years down the road. But then again, you look at the way the Patriots have done things over the years. They've had some fairly decent backup quarterbacks, and after 2-3 years, they've had to let them go. Just like Jimmy.
Mm.
Jimmy was going to be out at the end of that season, so they've traded him.
And it's
within,
good
look,
business, right?
They'll trade for him back again.
Yeah. No, but it's good business.
Yeah.
If the Patriots is one thing to look at, and I know they're annoying, but the way they've been doing business, getting rid of old player to get something, or even just cap space, that's how you stay competitive, isn't it? Instead of hanging on to. And I think that's what the Raiders tried to do with Khalil Mack. It's just like, oh, if we can shift this, get some pick, and
Yeah.
start front. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And some people are good at it, some people aren't. But yeah.
Well, to be honest, I mean, it's a very similar thing to what we did with Buckner.
Yeah.
We couldn't keep everybody, and it was worth trading Buckner to get that first round pick. And hopefully this year we'll see that pay off in spades.
Yeah.
So, okay, so apparently all the sound sounds good. We've got no echoing. Absolutely fantastic. Right, so we may as well start the draft. As I've said,
Do you want to share your screen with us, Lee, on Skype, because we can't see it?
yeah, not particularly. I'm just going to pick them all.
Okay.
Yeah, give us a second. I'll share the
Lawson
screen now.
Adebo
It's-
number 1.
There you
Adebo
go.
probably the
Kyle
number
picked
2.
7 guys from Stanford.
It will
see.
be. It'll just be Stanford.
The Stanford players.
Right, so hopefully you can see that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So as you can see, I've got that configured. You'll need to bear with us with the clock because I've only just configured this clock. You had to script it to work in this particular application for broadcast. So we might have a few little hiccups as we go. Well, let's start the draft then. As I said, I've got it on medium speed and it gives us time to talk through some of the picks.
Let's trade up.
I can't believe Lee's going to do a mock draft and not trade picks.
You
I
know
know.
what?
People
You
think,
know what?
What's going on?
So-
What's going on?
I'll be honest, I did try to trade with Jacksonville Jaguars the other night, but I wanted to really test how intelligent PFF was. After basically we took all of Carolina Panthers' picks in one go. So what I tried to trade up, give them our 3, but actually take this year's 1 and their next 2 first rounders as well. But they weren't having it. So it didn't do it like I thought it might do after what we did to Carolina Panthers. So it does have some sort of intelligence behind it. I just can't get away with how we managed to take every single Panther pick for the next 3 seasons. That was just crazy.
I bet it's even not legal. I'm pretty sure there's somewhere in the rules it would be like you cannot do that.
You can, but you can't trade. You can't trade picks more than 2 years in advance. I think it is.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
go 2 years in the future, and that's
Yeah.
it. But
That's it.
surely the commissioner would be calling GMs and go, "This isn't right."
Yeah, I think there'd be some sort of investigation to say, hang on here, what's going on here?
For sure.
Okay, let's fire away then.
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
Zach
what
Wilson.
the-
Zach
Zach
Wilson went number one. That was
Oh,
Zach
quite a
Wilson,
surprise.
number one.
So
Wow.
let me just start that clock then.
All right. Who do we want?
Trey Lance for me. Unsurprisingly.
I've gone back to Justin Fields now. I think I've been talking to my coach all day, and
That's
I think
blurry.
it would be stupid.
I'm
to
assuming
pass
that says anybody. No, I forget what that saying is. What was it?
Justin Fields, no matter what.
Yeah, no
I know
matter
Nigel
what.
hasn't
No
seen the
matter
movie,
what.
So.
No, I've never seen Draft Day. I've heard bad thing about it, so I've never really done it. But I probably will. Is it good? You guys gotta tell me if it's good or not.
Yeah, it's a good film. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. But no, you were saying that your coach has got you on to, because obviously I had Justin Fields for the last podcast. So
He
obviously,
just said something really interesting. Is you can't pick hoping that a player's gonna turn amazing, which is what we're hoping with Trey Lance, right? And the upside is way more than what Justin Fields is, maybe, because even now isn't sure. I just feel like Justin Fields, we know how good he can be, but he could be much more too as well, and he's the only one that has more than 1 year production out of very good college, and he was a Heisman finalist and all that. And I just feel like the downside is the lowest we feel, and the upside is right up there, if a little less than Trey Lance maybe. But it's more the downside thing. I think with Fields it's a bit higher than the other two. So we're taking Mac Jones, right?
So I was just about to ask that. So again, I'll go back to what I said in the podcast. The thing that worries me about Justin Fields is purely the time it takes him to release the ball.
But that's something you can work on.
It's something he's going to need to work on in the
Mhm.
NFL. Definitely, he's going to have to improve. He's going to have to improve, and I don't know whether or not it's making decisions or whether or not he actually holds on to it, waiting for somebody to come open. It's difficult to tell.
Yeah.
I think Fields is going to get a shock in the NFL about how much faster the game seems to move.
I think they're all going to get that shock.
Yeah, play a slow game. So
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm worried, Gareth, about Mac Jones. Obviously, he's come from Alabama. He's used to elite talent all around him. He's had all the time in the world. Is he going to suddenly find, hang on a second, this NFL isn't as easy as I thought?
Yeah.
That's. But for me, Fields or Lance is where I'm at with this.
Yeah.
For me, Mac Jones is out, so the four of us have got to
Yeah,
decide now.
to be honest, Mac Jones is out for me between Fields and Lance. I think Lance is a little bit too much of an unknown at the moment.
Yeah. I think
Whereas Fields is more of an unknown, and
it
it makes us. I feel more comfortable taking Fields than I would Lance.
Yeah, Field, I'll be very happy. Lance, I'd be excited. But that's. I think you're right. You put it right. Right there is the unknown is just better with Fields.
So I think we definitely all gravitating towards Fields here. But I'll ask you another question. If one of the top two, Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence, had fallen, or if either one of them had fallen, would you take either one of those over Fields?
I would take Trevor for sure over Fields. I'm not sure about Zach Wilson.
Right.
I just wonder if they've actually done the evaluation process on those two. It doesn't seem like.
I think
they
I
were
think
there
they
for
would have
Zach
on
Wilson's.
Wilson.
Yeah, they were there for his pro day.
I think they would have done a little work on Trevor Lawrence just in case, because you never know.
Yeah.
And not to tip your hand either, but.
Well, it sounds like we got 2 for Fields and 2 for Lance there. So.
Oh, so who's
Well,
going for Lance?
let's-
So Gareth and Paul.
I said the chat.
No, I'm happy to go with Fields. I'm obviously.
Well,
So-
it seems I'm outnumbered then. So
I was just about to say, looking at the chat, both Alec and Mark have both said Fields. So that's four to Fields, 2 to Lance.
To back up what Gareth was saying, though, like we're heading into this tonight, on the night, I'm hopeful. You know, Fields or Lance for me. I hope Mac Jones isn't in the conversation. But for this exercise, yeah, I'm definitely Justin Fields.
Yeah,
So I
also
agree
the
with you
fact
there, Paul.
if we don't take Field and Fields becomes a superstar and it works wherever he goes next, we're never gonna hear the end of this. If we
You
pass
can say that
Trey
about
Lance-
any of them, though.
yeah,
well, if we pass on Trey Lance and he becomes, you know, a superstar, we could say we weren't sure, and there's a little bit more leeway. But
Yeah.
Fields is going to be another. Oh, you didn't pick Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes, you know, in 2017. Blah, blah. You know, that conversation, which is
Right.
very annoying.
I'm going to pick Fields, and then we can
Okay.
chat on the way down, because
I mean, to
Obviously,
answer
we're
your
on the clock
question
there.
there, though, Lee, when you said Trevor Lawrence was there, I think we said it earlier. You would pick the best player, and obviously it's well documented that he's supposedly the best. So I think if it was
Yeah.
a choice between them two, I'd be leaning that way. But this is where we get to the next interesting pick. Is this
So
the
Lance
North
went at
Stanford
9.
rule?
Because I think we need to move up to go and get Najee Harris.
that's interesting.
we
Mac
can.
hasn't gone yet.
well,
There you go. 19.
see if we can get someone to bite without having to give away too much.
To do what?
I mean, I'm talking top of the second here because wait, there's no running back gone yet. Oh, we might be able to pick
Right,
him.
hang on. Are you sure there's no running back on?
Oh, I haven't seen one.
Well, he hasn't seen the one he's looking for. I knew
I haven't
Matthew was
seen
going to
his
pull
Yeah,
for
No,
his,
there's no running back on yet.
No running back gone, and we pick 43. I think as soon as ATN's gone, we need to pause and see who wants to pick Najee Harris.
Realistically, do you think we need a running back? Because I don't think we need a running back at all. Not this high in the draft.
I just think that's
it.
the only need we have now because we've re-signed
Really?
all of the safeties in the corners. Well, yeah, because all we have is Mostert and Hasty, who broke his collarbone and is
And Wilson and Gallman.
And Wilson and the guy, the
Oh
giant,
yeah, and Goldman and Wilson. That's true.
Yeah.
and Juszczyk as
Yeah.
if we, well,
I
we-
don't count this checking. I just think if people are really high on Kyle Pitts and saying, oh, if we had this extra offensive weapon, imagine if we had a first round talent like Harris or ETN at the running back position. It would make us absolutely unstoppable.
I'd love it, but it wouldn't make much difference if we're getting burnt every time on defense because we got no corners.
Yeah.
No, we do need corner, absolutely. But it's a very deep corner class. I think we can find corner easy in the third.
Well, if we've still got a few minutes on the clock, see what it would take to get someone to swap second round picks in.
So if you couldn't get Harris at this point, Najee, which corner would you be happy with if the three of us talk you down from Harris? Because I'm on the fence. I would like to see him. But if we can't get him now, we're going for a corner. Who's on your wish list at this,
So
where we are now?
let's say
Depends
so.
who's
Newsom's gone. Newsom's
Newsom.
gone.
And then I'm guessing Khaled
Farley,
Farley's gone. Wow, that's
Farley's
high.
gone. Horn's
Horn's
gone, and Surtain's gone.
And Certain's gone. So
So you've got a Sunday Samuel Jr. He'll be available.
is. Yeah, you're right, Alec. I know that. I just he's got almost the same name
Yeah.
as me, which is kind of cool. B, he's a running back just like me, which is even cooler. And then C, I just think he's going to be absolutely unreal. He's the next AD. So, he's the next Adrian Peterson, and he's gonna tear defenses apart. It's my personal opinion. I just love him.
I'd be happy to take him if we've already taken a corner.
He's not
Yeah,
gonna drop that low. That's it's now or never. That's the
Well,
problem.
yeah, but that's it. If we could if we could get somebody to bite with a bundle of picks now.
So what I would say is, let's go back to last year when we were all beaten up on defence. We still had a top 5 defence with Emmanuel Mosley and Verrett as our starting corners. So
Sure.
I can see what Nachi's saying now. We definitely need depth at corner. We definitely need some more bodies there, quality bodies to push the 2 starters. But if Shanahan's going to bring in a quarterback at number 3, is he not trying to overload the quality on the offense?
Yeah.
And
I
running
just-
back might be a way to go if he is really a generational type running back. And from what I've heard, everything I've seen online and read, they are really talking about Najee Harris as one of these guys that should really be up at the top end of the draft. It's just that for the last 5-6 years, running backs haven't been the flavour of the month as far as draft picks are concerned.
Yeah, and it's a super heavy QB, wide receiver kind of class this year. There isn't there's what, two of them really this year. It's ETN and Najee Harris. So, and yeah, running backs have been devaluated greatly thanks to Le'Veon Bell.
So who's there? It's Jacksonville at the moment.
Yeah.
See if we
So
get
first of all,
some-
we need to decide who we're going for. Because I'm still thinking that we should go corner.
Yeah, I think we should go corner, but I think if Najee Harris, I'm happy to compromise that. If he's there at 43, I think we should discuss it, and let's not trade up to get him.
So-
but if he's available, I think it's not the kind of player you pass on.
So let's take us down to 43 then.
He's going to go at 42, isn't he?
So that's Samuel
Probably.
Jr. gone. So Najee
Oh.
Harris is still available.
Ooh, decision time.
I mean, I wouldn't think twice. I would just take him.
Well, I think you've made a good case. I'll take him, and then let's see if we can trade up
Offer.
into either the back end of the second or the top of the third, and have at least a little bit more choice of cornerback. Otherwise, it's going to be Paulson Adebo.
So
next.
if you-
Which I would
Yeah,
be happy with.
Paulson
if
Adebo.
we have that.
Actually, we don't have the pick to take Paulson Adebo.
Oh.
But where's our 102 pick gone?
Oh, is that the trade? Is that what we traded to? No, because that's next year.
Yeah. So where's our compensatory pick gone? We've only
Have we-
picked once.
Did the PFF thing bugged out? Because it does do that sometimes.
Well, yeah, because looking at that, we don't normally have 194, do we?
No, we got 190.
Unless
that's very
have other
strange.
compensatory picks been awarded, and suddenly everybody's knocked down?
Shifted down, yeah. No, because the draft
No,
order
I thought so,
decided
yeah.
8. So
Yeah. So we're going Najee Harris here because our next pick is at the end of the third, start of the fourth.
Oh, that's a long way down.
Yeah, I think that's the start of the fourth. So to me, yeah, I'd be going corner.
Yeah, we should have 102 and 117. Something
Oh,
happened.
that's right. Yeah. Unless there's been a trade that we don't know of.
Yeah.
Quick refresh Twitter. Have a look and see if something's on there.
That's what I'm doing.
Why don't you just ask Kay, Paul?
Oh,
She'll know.
I think she's busy tonight, Najee.
Oh.
My phone's just calmed down after that yesterday, so
I suppose. I mean, it's only the draft simulator, but who's after us? Dallas. Are they likely to take Najee Harris? Who's next? Maybe see if you could trade down a little bit.
So
Still
it's difficult with running backs because if you look down every team's need, I don't think any team has a need for a running back.
That's true.
So it's a luxury pick.
So we could always trade back, get a few more picks, and then take
Turn back up.
and
Yeah.
trade back up and get a corner at the end of the.
If we
second
didn't make the rule that we weren't going to do any trades and take the 9 picks.
True. True.
That's why I was saying the next pick after this is 117.
and who
It should
do
have
you
been
earmark
102.
for 117? Which Stanford player are we taking at 117?
Well, I mean, once you
Oh.
get to 117, Paulson Adebo is
Just-
gone, and at 155, we probably is not going to get Tommy Tremble from
I
Notre Dame.
just saw Twitter. Sorry to cut, but apparently Aaron Rodgers is not happy and he's not returning to the team.
Happy days.
Yeah,
I don't know.
happy
Adam
days.
Schefter of ESPN just reported that he's so disgruntled that he's told people within the organization that he does not want to return to the team.
So that was just forcing to get the money he wants and the extension he wants, which they haven't been forthcoming with. So
Unless just there was trade talk and he's not happy about it.
Or
Possibly.
Jeopardy's come in and
That's-
given him an offer that he can't
Right, so,
refuse.
so our time has basically run out on this pick. Where are we going?
I've made my case. You guys can decide that.
I'm definitely going
happy taking a
cornerback.
corner. I'm really happy taking a corner. I just
What corners are there?
Elijah
Or,
Malden, who's a
Yeah,
nickelback. He's a slot corner, so he'll take over K'Wan Williams next year.
I think
You've
he's
got
a good.
Yvonne Holland,
he's good.
who is very good.
Blank.
Yeah.
Take Molden. I think I've seen him linked with us several times as a good fit. So
So Najee, you do have some support there. Mark Mavers, he's with you. He thinks we should take Najee Harris as well.
yeah, but that means we're going to miss out on Chuba Hubbard later. And
Yeah, and what a name! Fantastic name.
I mean, I'm also happy to go with Trey Sermon, which I think it kind of fits better what we do. I just love Najee Harris a little bit more. But
Paul, you're the deciding vote.
Oh, he makes
Pressure's
such a
on,
good.
mate.
He makes
Pressure's on.
such a good case for Najee Harris, and to be fair, I'm like Gareth. I've seen stuff online today, and I'm thinking get him on a rookie contract, cheap's upside. Yeah, go on. We'll go for Harris. I'll make Najee happy.
Right, interesting.
Who needs
Okay,
defense?
Najee
We're going
Harris it is
offense.
then.
We don't need defense.
there we go. That's going to be a C- draft, isn't it?
that's why we went to the Alabama Pro Day.
I
not
don't
to see
know.
Mac Jones.
I mean, they are talking about him being an end of first round talent now.
Could be a masterstroke, boys. Could be a masterstroke.
Could
What we've
be.
just done there.
We're definitely not trading up then.
Tried up
No.
to get somebody. Yeah, okay. We might be lucky, but it's weird that our 102. Who's got our 102 then?
Have a look. It's coming up. Any free agent that we can plug in
Seven
the
has
corner.
been forfeited for some reason.
Was that New England?
Yeah.
That was for cheating. That'll be for cheating somewhere.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Seriously,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
for cheating somewhere. They did
It was
something wrong.
filming one of the Bengals practices, wasn't it?
It
And
was.
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
think
I
that was-
know New
Who's got
Orleans
102?
lost one as well.
Why the Dolphins go 102 from us? Is that what we traded then? We traded it.
It's next
No.
year.
It's next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or they've taken it this year. They've taken a tackle. Alec, I don't think we can get a second round for Jimmy. Teddy Bridgewater went for 6, and he's younger and he's played pretty well ish.
Right. So 117.
I think the
So
best
what?
we could get for Jimmy might be a 6 or a 5th if it's New
Yeah.
England because of him.
Paulson Adebo's gone.
Ah,
Gutted.
That was Najee's plan.
Absolutely
Najee
gutted.
Harris.
Where's
Where's
he
he
gone?
go, Lee?
He'll have gone in the 70s. Or 86.
to the
86 of the Jets.
Robert Sally
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah, he
He
does.
does listen to the podcast, Najee, so of course he knows.
Of course he
So,
does.
so normally at 117, I'd have been going O-line with Kendrick Green, guard.
Yep.
But we haven't got a cornerback.
We haven't. We could take Jamar Johnson, but he's not a corner. He's a safety.
Yeah, so we've got Tia Gowan there.
I like him.
Yeah,
Can't be used
I'm
yet.
happy with Warner.
Yeah, but
Right, so we definitely need to go corner.
yeah. Benjamin St. Just out of Minnesota. Not a bad
Yeah.
pick.
So
Thank
I'd,
you.
I'd rather pick him up than Tia Gowan, to be honest.
Okay.
Ooh, Tommy Tremble.
Oh,
he
oh,
better
Tommy
still be
Tremble.
there at 155.
yeah.
No, we definitely need to go cornerback.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I'm happy with Benjamin St. Just.
Go on. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Right, what are we picking now? 155.
155.
So, what's the plan here, boys?
Kendrick Green went
D-line,
late, 129.
D-line, tackle, guard, something like that.
I think we need another cornerback. Oh, Chuba Hubbard, 137.
Well, we've got Najee Harris. We don't. Oh, he's
Yeah,
gone.
you're right.
Running backs flying off the
So
board.
Milton Williams,
What's that?
he would have been the D lineman. I took Tommy Tremble, 151.
Tremble's gone.
151.
Oh,
So you've got a decent wide receiver there, Dax Milne, and
Dax
Robert
Milne.
Hainsey is a tackle.
I'm not sure about Dax Milne. I think his production was highly boosted by Wilson being awesome and playing against very bad defenses. But
So that's like saying our rookie quarterback's not going to be awesome.
no, but for a wide receiver, it's much easier, right? If you pick on a good on a bad corner, the guy that's out of a very small school, that's probably not going to enter the draft, going to go and find a job and never play football ever again. And
Alex asking, do you not think the Bears will give a second for Jimmy?
no, I think his value is just super low because of the Bridgewater thing.
And the contract
Yeah.
as well, isn't it, Nadji?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
most teams know that if we don't trade him, we're going to cut him and absorb the 2.8. But who's going to trade for him at his current rate of 26 million that he's due? I think that's the difficulty, isn't it? I think most teams are
And
looking
the
at.
Bears gave what 12 million to Andy Dalton. They're not going to give 26 to Jimmy on top of that. It's
I think they know that if they can trade for him with an agreement to restructure.
Yeah,
'Cause
I think that's what the Patriots are doing.
It's left. So if they give him any longer years or any more guarantee, particularly with his injury history.
But you wouldn't have two QBs above 10 millions on your roster. That's so much money for somebody sitting on the bench.
We're forgetting as well.
Oh,
We don't know if Jimmy's going to be alive on Sunday. Everyone remember, you know.
so per sources, as of last night, Aaron Rodgers was convinced he was headed to San Francisco.
Oh wow!
Ooh, that's why he's unhappy.
Who are these sources, Lee?
Well, this has come from somebody called Trey Wingo, but David Lombardi
Yeah.
is the one that's retweeted it.
All right.
Mm.
This is interesting.
I just
wonder
can't wait.
what
I just can't wait till 1:30 tonight, so we know.
I know. The thing is, though, we've been all like dead.
Yeah.
It's when we did the test call earlier and we were having a little bit of banter, and you think,
Yeah.
nothing could go wild between now and then. And
You know, watch us do something silly and trade away that pick just before midnight when we're all getting on the Zoom call, so that everybody can see our reaction once the pick comes. We all go on the Zoom call at midnight. We've all got a face like a slapped ass.
I know. I
It's
would
like,
be
Jesus.
absolutely devastated. If
to
we
be honest, what's quite funny though, my friend who's a Green Bay fan's been winding me up something chronic all week about.
You
the
know what,
rumours,
Paul? I don't
and
think you've
he's
ever
gone,
told us that you've got a friend that's a Green Bay fan.
you know, but I'm just saying, Lee, he's gone really quiet tonight with all these rumours of Aaron Rodgers suddenly
Yeah.
wanting out. So
I think a UK Hun text is probably in need.
I like that one,
Um,
Gareth. I like that.
Alex asking what tight end is still available on the board.
I
Apart
think
from
we
Tommy
say
Tremble, I don't think there's much.
So losing that pick 102 is completely screwed up
Yeah,
my
it really
thinking in
has.
the draft here. You're right, Mark. Tonight will be awesome. Regardless of who we pick, it'll be an awesome night because
Unless
we
we
know.
have our Rodgers and then we've just talked about this and got angry about everything for nothing.
I don't know. No, I think it's still a reasonable exercise because we've looked
Yeah.
into these players so much over the last 5-6 weeks now that regardless of who they go to, we now all feel invested in watching their career and find out how well they do, or
No,
if
but
they fall
that's what
flat
I
in the
mean.
face.
If it's Aaron Rodgers, then it's because I think one of the most exciting thing about this draft, and whoever we pick, right, even if it's Mac Jones, is that if it turns out to be good, it's the next 10, 15 years. If it's Aaron Rodgers, it's what, 3, 4, 5 years maybe?
anyway.
It is, but then it kind of puts into context what we gave up. Because if it is Aaron Rodgers and we do go to the Super Bowl, and to be honest, if we have a quarterback like that leading us, there's a very good chance we go on year after year because
True.
we are a good team. Then we're not really giving up first rounders. We're giving up early second rounders,
Yeah, true.
kind of. You know what I mean by that.
Yeah, very true.
So it suddenly devalues what we actually paid to move up, and we get the benefit of actually potentially winning something for the next 3-4 years. And like you said before, if he keeps himself in good shape like Tom Brady, then there's nothing stopping him playing for at least 6 years, 6-7 years.
Yeah, true. That's very true.
Now the interesting thing is, I'd like to see what the same people who are completely against Mac Jones make of the Aaron Rodgers rumours.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
let's face it, Aaron Rodgers, he's not exactly a mobile quarterback. He used to be able to scramble, but it's very rare he does that now.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Very
Yeah,
rare.
but he's got 10 years in the game that gives you the experience to replace that, doesn't it? If you haven't got the experience, you have some sort of athleticism to get away. But the older
Yeah.
quarterbacks have got that experience and reading the game that sort of negates their lack of athleticism.
Well, yeah, and Aaron Rodgers got the experience to go down like he's being shot by a sniper every time somebody comes near him, so that he gets a penalty flag
And he gets the calls, which
Yeah. all the time.
a
He
rookie
did.
QB does not. So,
Yeah.
Are we going to take this pick? Or
Yes, we are going to take this pick. Who are we picking?
I reckon we could do with a safety if there's any talent left.
Who are you thinking then at this pick for safety, Gareth? Who's your...
So as you recall, we took Hamlin yesterday, and I think that was graded as a C+, and we took him a lot further down than this.
Well, maybe we can wait.
Wait, didn't we? Who did we pick? This is so annoying that you can't see.
At 155 yesterday, we picked Tommy Tremble. So today we have picked. We've taken Benjamin St. Just, so we've got a cornerback. Our other pick was 43, Najee Harris, and then a quarterback. So we've only picked 3 times, and we're in the arse end of the draft now,
Yeah,
and we haven't picked up anybody for the O-line.
that's true. But we don't really need a tackle. We need a guard.
So you've got a guard down there. You've got David Moore. You should have what you call him? Tell you what, I can sort by interior O-lineman. There you go. So Darius Hutchinson, I'm quite surprised he's dropped that far.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
So I mean, let's go David Moore.
Sure,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only need we really have, considering the 5th-year option, right?
Yeah, we could do with the centre as well.
On my Glintree. Well, I feel like next year we need a center, not necessarily this year.
Do you not think we need a centre to play behind Mac for 1 year, to learn from Mac for 1 year?
To learn, but he's signed a 3-year deal, so
He has, but that was because of the way we've structured the contract. Because I think the last 2 years of full dead money, because the expectation was he'd only play 1 year, but to get him on board for the price that we'd need to pay for him, we've given him a 3-year contract and made sure the last 2 years are, I think, pretty much fully guaranteed.
right.
Which
Right.
means effectively he's playing 1 year but getting 3 years worth of money,
Right.
and that's because of the cap. So I think that's why they've done that.
In that case, yeah. I think having a center to learn, unless Ben Garland is gonna learn and play there.
Yeah, I think there could be somebody in the team already who can learn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, possibly.
at least
Possibly.
it's an option, isn't it? They can see how it goes, and if not, it's a second round pick next year.
But for no reason whatsoever, I'd just like to draw your attention to the fact that Drew Dalman down here is still available.
What college does he play for, Lee? I can't see that on the...
He
small
plays
screen
for
I've
one
got.
of the ones in California.
One of those garbage one
Oh,
full of engineers, not football players.
So if you recall, I did tell you about his connections to the 49ers. His dad played for the 49ers.
Yeah, you did.
So I'm
Keep
just
us
catching
updated,
up
Mark.
on some of the chat on
Yeah.
Facebook, not Facebook,
Mark is
YouTube.
right. If we get Rodgers, I will go to bed early.
just chuckling, I can imagine.
Yeah,
Waking the girls
definitely.
up in the morning. So which of the 3 quarterbacks did you get that you wanted? Oh, we got none of them. We got this guy called Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers. Who...
And I can imagine Tracy's going to turn around and say, "You're kidding us? You've just spent the last 6 weeks watching video every night instead of watching chick flicks with me, and you didn't take
Oh, yeah.
any of them."
We didn't take any of them. Like you said, Lee, invested now. Time well spent.
Yeah. Right, where we are? We are pick 172. Jonathan Cooper. Now I watched him in some of the games. I was watching Justin Fields, and I'd heard a lot about him being a decent edge. But to be honest, he kind of got pushed about a lot. He didn't seem. As soon as he got engaged with a decent left tackle, that was it. He kind of gave up. He had no strength
but
to get around there.
That's why he's this slow and not been picked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Oyster defense was very good on the linebacker front, but not so much.
We could do with edge. I think no one knows what's happening.
But I think
today.
didn't we take Shaka Tooney yesterday on a test bit because of the name?
We might have. I was just about to say we did discuss his name a lot because it sounds like a song, Shaka Tony. And I'm
You
quite
said you were
happy to
going
go
to break
Shaka
in the
again.
song for us tonight, Lee. I thought you were going to.
No, I'm sure that was Gareth. I'm convinced that was Gareth.
No, it's,
Certainly not me.
I'm not allowed to sing in public.
Okay, let's take an edge. Let's take
Yeah.
Shaka Tony.
Sure.
We only ate picks away. I reckon Drew Dalman's still going to be there at 194.
We can, taking a center in a 6 is good.
So
Right.
what
So I was just about to suggest another cornerback, but he's gone.
who are you looking
No,
at?
it was
Lee?
taken right after ours.
All right.
Shaka Brown.
Shaka Brown.
We haven't taken a receiver yet, have we?
We have not taken
No.
a receiver. It's true.
No, let's see who's left.
What
Ooh,
pick do we normally take?
Shea
The guy
Smith.
from Oregon, Brandon Breeze.
No, we don't
Yeah.
take anybody from Oregon. Don't be daft.
Brady Breeze.
We're
Stop your
not
beer.
taking anyone from Oregon.
I've got Najee Harris. I'm out of this. I'm going home. I'm happy.
You're
So
welcome, mate.
Jonathan Adams Jr., I think. That hasn't updated. That's generally most drafted by 49ers. I'm sure he is,
Oh, okay. Interesting.
but it hasn't updated on there. Shea Smith, that's somebody
Sure,
that.
yeah.
I wonder if this is just because the mock draft's been absolutely hammered tonight. 'Cause
But
generally
generally
that comes up straight away.
It's just bugging a little bit.
Yeah. Right. So which wide receiver are we going for?
I'm happy with Shea Smith.
Yeah, I am as well. I'm
Yeah,
comfortable
there
with
we
that
go.
one.
I
Yeah.
don't know these guys, so I'm happy to defer.
Fantastic. He is there.
We got 2 left. Did we got?
We've got
Two
2
picks.
left. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
These are our 7th, the 6th, and the 7th.
Yeah. Back end of the 6th.
Yep, there's Dalman. You were right,
Yeah.
Lee.
Who's that, man? Take
Yeah.
him.
So Dalman will be gone by 2:30. But based off what we've just been talking about and the fact that you think Ben Garland might learn from Mac, are we really going to take a centre?
I mean, if it's the 6, right? It's not going to cost us anything
Yeah.
to
We,
have
we
depth.
can go with whatever here. I think best player available, isn't it?
So you go on defensive lineman.
I mean, 134 and we're at 195,
Yeah.
94.
Oh, I mean, Drew Dalman's only 146.
Oh,
Just saying.
let's take a center. Let's go.
I'm not going to bully you into it.
No, I'm happy taking
It's,
him.
it's a need, isn't it? And it's at this end
See-
of the draft. Then
I'm a football romantic. So the fact that his dad used to play for the 49ers, I think that's excellent. And stuff
think
like
the
that.
upside's
There's
there, Lee.
there's a story about it.
yeah, and Lynch is going to want to take him, isn't it? So
More than likely, yeah. Right, go on then, Drew Dalman.
Oh,
There's our centre of the future. Najee doesn't sound happy. What have we traded away, Najee?
what's happening? No, I'm happy with that. Let's go. I mean, it's a 6 rounder. You really have to play outstanding to stay on the team. Any
One
length.
final mock draft from the PFF San Francisco 49ers account, and they took Tommy Tremble. Oh, they also took Shaka Tony.
There you go. Great
Justin
mind.
Fields.
then again, on the simulator, you see the same names at roughly the same picks time after time. So
Yeah, you do like. You get
Yeah, you're right, Alec. I think it doesn't look like there's going to be any proper rookie camp and all that. So all of these 6 rounders, 7th rounders are going to struggle make the team anyway. So
What
Alright.
you're going to do tomorrow, Lee, when the PFF simulator's done? Or can
Broken?
you just
no, it
keep
won't be
doing
done.
or-
It won't be done until Sunday. It won't be finished till
right.
Sunday. So I'll still be on it, having a look at second round and third round. And then I've actually got an interview to do on Saturday, I think it is. I'm
All
trying
right,
to remember who that's with.
I'd seen a message pop up, so you're doing
Yeah.
that one on the Saturday.
I think that's with the Jets. I'm not sure. So yeah, I said I would do the 12:30 slot on the Saturday afternoon and just talk over the first 2 rounds of the draft from a 49ers perspective. So that'll be interesting. And to be honest, come 2-3 o'clock tomorrow morning, if they're online and they need anybody to like step in and just give some sort of analysis, I'll drop on and I'll talk them through what we made of the 49ers
Aaron
pick
Rodgers.
or trade.
Aaron Rodgers trade. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a centre, we've got a wide receiver, we've got a
No, I
guard.
don't think we do.
I
Yeah,
don't
we
think
took
we
Shea
do.
Smith.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
So where are we going on this one then?
So we haven't taken a safety.
Safety's
Oh,
good.
that's right.
Safety's
Yeah.
good for me. Someone we can work with. There's not many left.
Brady
Oh,
Breeze.
Brady Breeze. No,
Breeze.
Oregon.
There he is.
He's Oregon, man. No,
Good
we got absolutely panned for taking Brady Breeze last night in the test.
We got
He's
A
the only one
plus.
that I recognise, to be fair.
We didn't
We
get
got
an
an
A plus for Brady.
A minus, I think.
We-
A
we-
minus
we-
we got. Take it.
Not for Brady Breeze. We got a C plus.
Yeah, we did.
No, I'm sure we didn't.
Yeah, but if we
You can't
take,
pull the wool over my eyes, Nancy.
if we take any position that's not of
Bloody
need,
ducks.
it will give us a bad grade. So
So none of these I recognise other than Brady Breeze because of the name. And I
Yeah,
haven't
I don't
really looked into
recognise
that
them.
whatsoever.
I don't either.
I mean, look at the second season there. Second season was quite good. Rated
Yeah, well,
16th
don't
out
think
of
he
all
played last year.
safeties.
Yeah, don't think he played last year. I think he opted out.
Yeah. I mean, he could be a steal based off that.
yeah, take him.
I know who I'd take.
You are, we know you. I'll tell you what, since you let us take Drew Dalman, I'll let you have Brady Breeze. There you go, Brady Breeze.
This is the best draft ever. Najee Harris, Justin Fields, Brady Breeze.
I reckon it's going to be a B plus.
I mean,
I don't think it's gonna be a C. Yeah, an A.
Brady Breeze has got his own burst in Canton waiting already. They know.
Brady Breeze. Sounds like air freshener you put in the toilet. I hope he doesn't stink the place up. Oh, I've just seen there. Trey McKitty was there, tight end.
Oh,
Yeah, B
You could-
plus thought would
A
be.
minus.
Yeah, A minus. I tell you what, I'm quite surprised about that. I
Drew
tell you what,
Dalman.
I was just about to
C+.
say the dissing on Drew Dalman there, C plus.
Najee Harris didn't go down too well with PFF there,
No.
did
No,
no,
not at all. I think it's probably because we could have gotten him further down the draft.
A little bit later.
Had we done some trades, we could have probably traded back to about 55, 60 and still picked up Najee Harris.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, but we channeled our inner Sonny Weaver Junior Lee. We wanted him. He was
Yeah.
there. We had the pick, and it made Najee happy.
That's good enough for me.
It's not bad. It's not a bad draft. I'd be happy with something like that. Unfortunately, no names hard to say because that's always the goal for Lee.
Yeah, definitely.
So
That's
we
the only
can-
reason I picked them. I'll
Yeah.
look for the names first. Can I pronounce that? Yes, fantastic. He can come. But you can guarantee what's going to happen over the weekend. We'll get a load of players whose name I have not got a Scooby about that I can't pronounce, and
Yeah.
I'll be tongue-tied for the rest of the year. Right, so who've we got on? We've still got a few people on the stream. Do anybody have any questions that they want any of us to answer or us to discuss? So we've still got Mark, Keith, Alec on. We've actually got 8 concurrent viewers at the moment. But I
I
don't know who
I
they
think
all
Keith
are.
is watching from the beginning. I'm guessing because the chat he seems to be a bit behind on the chat, but
Possibly, yeah,
who
possibly.
would pick up Jimmy G? No one.
7 guys and John Lynch then.
Yeah, 7 guys and John Lynch.
Yeah. And Kyle's burner account.
So we're a couple of hours away from the draft, and I am quite surprised that we haven't got the faintest idea who we're going to draft. I did see that report earlier on about the NFL actually pressuring San Francisco not to give away who we're going to take.
Yeah,
purely
I've seen
because
that.
it's driving the ratings up.
Yeah, theatre. Well, and some of the gambling stuff.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
So
because we
massive. So
we didn't talk about this, and I think it's quite big. But gambling is now allowed,
so I was just about to mention that. Yeah.
which is
That
quite huge for the NFL.
it is. Yeah. I was absolutely gobsmacked about this. So I was talking to David Ellicott about this last Friday, and we mentioned the 17th game. And he said, "Oh yeah, it's all about the betting." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, you're allowed to bet now." And I didn't realise that you couldn't bet on sporting events outside of Las Vegas in America. So, I mean, I'm sat there completely naive to the fact that you can't bet. You can't place a bet on an NFL game unless you are in Las Vegas. So that came as a surprise. But then when he mentioned the 17th game, I thought, yeah, that does make sense. The amount of money that's going to be worth now you can bet on sports is unbelievable. So at first I thought he was just talking about football. I thought that the whole problem was you can't bet on football. But he said, no, it's any sport. It's purely Las Vegas you can do it in.
It's so the question is, how long until we have the first scandal of player that's bet on a team and
Bet on his own team to lose.
something like that, yeah. Or a
Yeah.
ref is found that he's put some bet somewhere and
And what's the betting? It's
I'd
somebody
say-
from the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'd say the second pre-season game.
this year. Yeah. I'm not a big fan. I mean, I don't really get betting in general, but I just whatever. If people enjoy it, whatever. I hope they have a system in place to keep the game clean. That's what.
Yeah, I mean, I've put a couple of bets on for the draft. First time I've ever done it, and I just thought, and it's not that often I bet either. And it was just something that, because I've spent so much time looking into the different players, and then I could see the odds kind of having a big swing. I thought, I'm going to have a try at those. I mean, Justin Fields at 6-1. That's decent odds. That's decent odds to pick someone up or pick someone up to get a decent return on that. So I don't know what happened to Nadsy. I think Nadsy just stepped out to go and stretch his legs. All I can see is the Skype screensaver. But yeah, I mean, I've gone for the long odds. So when I bet on the national, I don't go for any of the favourites. I always go for somebody that's 40-1, 50-1, go each way, in the hope that if I do win something, I'm going to win big. So my bets have been on Kyle Pitts at 50-1 because of the rumours, and Zach Wilson 20-1 because I was always convinced that Zach Wilson was going to fall to 3 and that the Jets were going to take Justin Fields at 2.
It's definitely possible. Sorry, I had to step out for a sec.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because that's a really, really good question, because it always happens, right? But who do you think of all... So if you look at the big boards of everybody, who do you think is going to drop? Because somebody's bound to, right? Because we're going to take either Field, Lance, or Jones, or maybe Wilson will be there, depending what the Jets do. So one of those quarterbacks is going to drop, or do you think maybe somebody else might drop? Some...
So if we don't take Fields, I think Fields will drop. And the reason I think Fields will drop is threefold. I think the time to release the ball is quite slow. I think his footwork needs a lot of work. And I think his medical, the whole epilepsy thing, will have teams a little bit worried about spending such high draft capital on somebody that potentially may have a problem in the middle of a game.
I don't get the epilepsy thing. I don't think is a problem. I think all of his family's got rid of it. So, and he's never had a problem, and he's played, very high level. So I don't think so. But I agree on the other two, though.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I think that would still make GMs nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, even if they can understand the reasoning behind it, do the homework, find out that none of his family's ever had the issue past a certain age, I think it would still make them nervous, because first round picks are coveted picks, and especially for the 49ers. I mean, the 49ers are effectively giving up 3 first round picks.
Yeah.
Two
I
first
think
round
Jones
picks.
will fall late. I think if we don't take Mac Jones, like we were doing the mock simulator tonight, he fell to what, 16, 17 was it, to Washington? And that's my opinion. I think whoever we don't take will drop down. If we don't take Trey Lance, I don't think he'll fall as far as the others, but I think Mac Jones is pretty much, he's either us at 3 or he could possibly fall out the top 10 quite easily. So
for me, the biggest marker that tells you that it's not going to be Mac Jones at 3 is what a lot of people have turned around and said. Before the 49ers traded up, Mac Jones was all the way down at 32, and they were talking about him potentially falling to the middle of the second round. But there was always those 4 quarterbacks who were in the top 10. There's always Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, and Lance. So you've got to think that the 49ers were thinking, well, we need to move up to get one of those. Because surely they couldn't have been thinking we need to move up to get Mac Jones when nobody was talking about Mac Jones until we made that trade.
Yeah.
I mean, he went to, is it Mobile in Texas for the Senior Bowl, and there was a couple of people following Twitter there, and they weren't blown away by him. And then all of a sudden we traded up, and they were like, we were watching him live, we watched his practices, he wasn't anything fantastic. No, Gareth said about Wilson's pro day, and obviously Fields' pro day, and these were people who saw him live. So again, I'm only going on their opinion, and I don't even think he played in the Senior Bowl game. I think he'd done enough. The talk was maybe he shouldn't play because his stock could fall, and like you said, Lee, until we traded up, he wasn't being talked about in the top like these other guys were. So be interesting to see.
I think it always goes back to this notion that people know what Kyle wants in a quarterback, because he said one day that he likes Kirk Cousins, and I just think that's completely ludicrous to think that. It's so funny to me how everybody agrees that he's a genius football coach that can basically scheme people open while make Raheem Mostert run for 200+ yards, and then they know exactly what he likes in a quarterback, and it's just like it doesn't make sense.
Do you not think he's burned a little bit when they took RG3 at Washington?
Well, I don't think that was his pick. I don't think it was his pick, was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't his pick, but he was OC.
Yeah, but it was his dad's pick, and look what he did with it, though.
But it wasn't his dad's pick, was it? It was Dan Snyder's pick.
Yeah, it was the owner pick. And but like Nadji said, look what he did with him, and obviously, I think didn't he have some injury problems as well after that epic first season? So
yeah, I think if RG3 stays healthy, we never have this conversation about Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins doesn't take a snap in the NFL ever. It's just one of them.
So Keith is asking, who's going to sign Nick Mullins?
No one.
I think he'll get signed as a camp body to compete for a backup somewhere, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think he's a starter in the league, is he?
No, he's not.
We talked about it a lot in the pods.
The problem is he's injured right now, so.
So apparently that injury is not as bad as what the first thought it was, and he'd be ready to go in September.
Okay. Well, I mean, still though, it's camp, and I mean, somebody will sign him to a camp, maybe, but very, there's 5 or 6, 7 more quarterbacks are going to get drafted this year, maybe more than that. Actually, it's very heavy this year. So, got 5 in the first round, and then Kyle Trask and Kellen Mond and Ian Book, and there's so many QBs. And Nick Mullins hasn't been putting the best tape on, so it's a bit of a shame. I like the guy; he seemed like a nice guy.
So Kellen Mond is definitely a quarterback who I would have liked to have taken.
Yeah, me too.
If we hadn't traded up. Yeah.
Me too.
I mean, I think he's the type of quarterback we could have easily sat behind Jimmy for a year or two. And developed.
I was surprised when he declared. I thought he would play another year and get a bit better. He's very raw, but no, I do like him. I think it's one of those mid-rounder that could turn to be a very good starter in the league for sure. He's a bit undersized though.
So Sports Illustrated have just tweeted Aaron Rodgers has reportedly supplied a preferred list of trade destinations. Number 1,
Wow.
San Francisco 49ers. Number 2, Broncos. Number 3, the Raiders.
Raiders. Oh, he's got a sense of humour then.
Well, the Raiders are the type of team who would make that sort of move and
Yeah.
give up the farm.
Yeah.
So that's
So it looks like
interesting.
it looks like we might have at the call this morning saying Rodgers, we want to trade Aaron Rodgers. What do you want to offer? And then we offered what we were comfortable with, and they said no. So it is
Yeah.
possible, and it is even possible that we could have offered something without the number 3. So we could still take somebody like Trey Lance and sit him behind Aaron Rodgers for 2 or 3 years. You
So
know,
what can we offer now without
Yeah.
offering the 3?
Yeah.
everything else.
Do Carolina Panthers.
Mhm. Yeah.
Interesting to look at it. The way you're looking at the Aaron Rodgers potential trade. I would be looking to get draft picks back off the Packers to minimise the impact. I mean, definitely, if we were going to trade for him, I would definitely want to swap this year's first round picks rather than give up this year's pick.
The pick, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that'd be 3
Oh,
years.
and then draft somebody like Kellen
Yeah.
Mond in the second or something, right? Or
Yeah.
the third. Yeah, for sure.
Because we're not giving up one first round pick, we're giving up 3, moving out of spot 3. That's why
I think
I'm
that's
very,
the problem, isn't it?
yeah.
If we hadn't given up the 2022, 2023 picks, then yeah, it's a trade you can make. But now we've committed to rookie. It's gonna be
Yeah.
difficult to sway it.
Just logged on Twitter for a split second there, Lee, while you were talking, and stepped away. It's going crazy. And
I know, I've got it open in front of us. Keep on looking over, seeing what's happening.
Oh,
Luckily enough, my mentions are down.
yeah. Well, Carl, they're listening, aren't they? They're watching live. They don't wait for the pod. They've got
Yeah,
must
more
be
than
right.
likely.
Carl's burner account. You know, we've got some influence.
We're on a separate screen in the draft room, just to make sure they don't miss anything we say.
Yeah, they're all having a good laugh. It's the entertainment for the night before they get down to work. Look at these clowns. I think they know what they're talking about. I wouldn't put it past them.
No, I wouldn't either.
No.
I'll take it
So-
if they want
so-
to laugh at it. I'll take it.
Obviously, we've just gone through the draft there, and we have different opinions on where we should be taking people in the second round. We were quite split there. So cornerback, halfback, running back. Realistically, where do you think we're going to go tonight, or where do you think the team's going to go tonight? Not us, not what we would do. Where do you think the team's going to go? Do you think
I
they're going to go cornerback?
I
Yeah.
think we might shift that second round pick either up or down.
I think we'll trade down actually.
But yeah, I can see us sort of trading down, getting a bit more capital so that we can shift our compensatory third up and potentially up quite a bit.
Well, I'm actually going to change what I've just said there. Potentially, so tonight I'm actually expecting us to come back into the end of the first
That's
round.
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's what I think we're going to do.
So from about 25 to 32, I think we'll use 43 and maybe our last 2 picks in the draft to move up, to switch that place. But it'll all depend on who's available. And I think it'll need to be either a corner or a safety. And if Trevon Moehrig is still there at 25, I would snap somebody's hand off to move up from 43 to take Trevon Moehrig at 25.
Yeah, the problem is it seems a general consensus in the league. That the first round is so much more expensive than the second round. I think it would take quite a bit for us to move from 43 because we're not at the top. I mean, it's not too far, but it would take quite a lot to get, to in the 28 or something.
Yeah.
Maybe 32 with Tampa if they don't have anything they want. Maybe
If there's a team that doesn't fancy the value and a team that's got a bit of cap problem, they might not want that first round
true.
pick.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm saying. The
Don't
32.
let me think of one, but
I don't think Tampa needs anything, considering they've re-signed every single player that was there on the roster to win that Super Bowl. So they don't really need anything apart from, you know. So it's definitely possible to get to that spot maybe if a player is there. The problem to me is I like going up because if we give up picks, we've got so many players on the roster right now, which is a luxury
Yeah.
considering the year we've had.
I mean, we all agreed there's no way we take 9 players this weekend. There's absolutely no way we take 9
we might,
players.
but 6th and 7th round will be wasted, I think, which is
Yeah, I was
might
gonna
as well use the pick to go up, right?
Yeah.
I think we need to be clever about this, and I think we need to use some of those later round picks to move up slightly in early rounds. So to move up from the end of the 3rd round to maybe the middle of the 3rd round, or even the start of the 3rd round, and just give up a couple of the picks at the end there, just to get a better value player. Because as we've said, I mean, the cornerback class is quite deep. So in the 2nd, 3rd, and potentially even the start of the 4th round, there's a lot of good cornerbacks there. But there's also a lot of other players there that you might be thinking from other positions or line. I know you disagree with us, Najee, but I definitely think we need another tight end on the roster. Because I don't think Charlie Warner or Ross Dwelly are that starting tight end to play opposite Kittle. And Tommy Tremble, it's not just the name, it's how he plays. It's how he plays. If you watch him, if you watch his game tape,
I watched a
he's
couple
just like
of
Kittle.
Notre Dame game, I think, against Clemson. And
He pancakes somebody and laughs his head off at them.
Yeah.
He just
Funny you
loves hit
mentioned
people.
tight end, Lee. Did you see that Tim Tebow has worked out as a tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars, according to stuff online that's just
Really?
resurfaced?
So that doesn't surprise us because he's always a chunky kid. Yeah, he was always quite well built. He was like a Ben Roethlisberger type build about him, because Ben Roethlisberger's quite chunky, and I can see why that would work.
A few Wildcat players in there. Get into the Jet under centre. There you go. It's getting wild tonight.
There's no point with those picks, sort of 200 or so less, because they're not going to get a pre-season, and we've got a stacked practice squad from last year. If we take guys with those picks, we'll just cut them when it comes to the roster, or well, practice squad maybe. But
so I think there will be a pre-season this year. I think we'll have all 3 games, and I think camp will be open. I understand that the voluntary camp, nobody's going to that, but once it gets to mandatory camp doesn't start until, what is it, the last week in June, first week in July?
Yeah.
I think by then it'll be open. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah,
or they'll at least be given a choice.
No, I mean there was a report from the league that things might be exactly like they were last year, or very similar anyway. So I think the league is playing it cautiously because they've seen how, the league year has been with COVID and things, and moving the games about and all that wasn't ideal. So I think they're being extra cautious.
Yeah.
I think the fact that they've changed president that's a little bit more proactive on the vaccine front is going to help them for sure. But I think that they're taking it cautiously, and that's what I've heard and read. But who's to know in June, right? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Like, you look at a country like India right now; they're really, really struggling, and we seem to be at the end of the tunnel, and some people are right in the middle of it still. So who knows with that thing? Who knows?
So back to Aaron Rodgers. Ian Rappaport's just tweeted this year that the Green Bay Packers are comfortable with Jordan Love. He performed well in practice, and it looks as though they're quite happy to go forward with him if the right offer came in. Mind you, they're not going to say anything else once Rodgers turned around and said, "That's it. That's the last game I play for the Packers."
I can't believe how you could treat somebody of his caliber like that. I don't understand, especially for a franchise like that. The fans are going to be furious, and they own the team. It's crazy to me.
I'm going to have to wrap this up. There's a few things I want to do before settling down
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the draft. So
completely agreed. I want to get some food in us before I have some more Stella. So that is a wrap then. Thank you for everybody that has joined the show, commented. I don't think there's been that many, but it's on there live, so everybody can replay it back and see what we picked during the draft. It's actually been 55 playbacks, so that's not too bad. So yeah, I think
on getting all the technical wizardry out.
Yeah,
Nicely
so
done.
believe it or not, my ticking clock didn't work.
No,
So it didn't
It
show
could
up
have
for
been
some
worse.
reason.
Your predictive text could have stopped again, Lee.
It could have, yes. I mean, that was quite embarrassing. I wish I could have cancelled that predictive text. Don't know what happened there. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what exactly has gone wrong with the ticking clock.
And we're back on midnight, is it? The Zoom? Is that when we start? So
We are. So the Zoom call is midnight. I mean, if you're going to join the Zoom call, you need to register just so that you get sent the correct link to actually join the Zoom call, because the link that's on the page at the moment, that's to actually register for the Zoom call. That Zoom will be going out live on YouTube as well. It's just so we can capture all the reactions. And we're also going to have a poll at the start to say which platform you're going to watch the draft on. Is it Sky, Game Pass, a third-party stream? Are you watching it on Twitter? Because then we can break out into rooms just before our picks due to come on, and therefore if somebody hears it first, half a minute before anybody else, it doesn't really spoil the surprise there. But then what you can do is also you can go back into the central room where everybody will go. Once you know what the pick is, and then we can all talk about the pick afterwards. So I've just noticed that the chat was going up there. Thank you very much, Mark. Much appreciated. And Keith, are you watching on Game Pass? Yeah, I think me and Paul's watching it on Game Pass as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be in the same room once the draft actually starts. So yeah, so we're back on at 12 o'clock. If you haven't done so already, get on there, register for the Zoom. Like I said, it's going out live on YouTube. Look remarkably different from what you're looking at the moment, because I haven't been able to set it up. It's happening externally to my setup here. But yeah, thank you for joining us, and enjoy the draft later on. Catch you later, guys.
Yeah, catch you later. Bye.
And go Niners.
Go Niners.